everyone, and welcome to Sketching with Sarah. On today's Fun Fact Friday, it's going to be a little bit different because I'm going to be talking about flamingos and another animal. I chose to talk about bats too because in this illustration I'm going to be combining a bat and a flamingo into a BATINGO is what I'm going to call him. And I'm going to create an illustration with this hybrid that emphasizes what they have in common. If you look at a bat and a flamingo side by side, you can clearly see that visually they're so drastically different from each other in their colors and their shapes and their textures. So what could they possibly have in common? Well, most of you may know that bats do sleep upside down by hanging from their feet from a branch or in a cave, and they wrap their little wings around themselves to keep all cute and cozy as they rest. So they spend a lot of time upside down. Now what you may not know is flamingos spend a lot of time upside down as well. No, they don't hang from branches or anything like that, but when flamingos eat, they walk around on their long skinny legs in shallower waters and hang their heads all the way upside down to skim the surface of the water with their bill to slurp up the brine shrimp and algae that they eat. The way that their beak is shaped, it actually creates an angled cup to make it easier for them to find and eat their food. Flamingos eat a diet mostly of brine shrimp and algae that give them their famous pink color. In this time lapse, I did draw a brine shrimp, which is a large part of a flamingo's diet. Obviously not to scale at all compared to the other flamingo I drew on this page, but mostly I was just curious on what they look like, so I sketched one a little bit bigger so I could have a mini study while I learn about these animals. Something I'd like to know from you guys is if you would find it helpful for me to pop up reference photos that I'm drawing from on the screen for you to see. Now, I didn't really want to do this because I'm not trying to draw every single detail and texture and shade from these references. I'm really just using them to figure out the structure of their form mostly, and I think it might distract from me sketching them if I just pop them on the screen as well. You might as well be watching some kind of slideshow type animal fact video instead of a more artistic one that I like to think I'm doing. This channel mostly revolves around me not only sketching these animals and sharing a little bit of info about them, but it's really an art channel, and in the future I'd like to do more art challenges and other things, not only just animals. I mostly ask if you'd be interested to see the reference photos that I use in these sketches, mostly so I can put them in the description if you wanted to draw along with me, so let me know in the comments if you'd like me to do that in the future. I found an interesting reference photo of a flamingo feeding their young, and I think it really shows just how angled their beaks are, especially when they open it like this little guy is. I use my sketchbook as a way of note-taking and documenting what I study about these animals. And with flamingos in particular, I noticed when I started drawing their feet up close, they have a little dew claw hanging off their heel. So it was just kind of a fun little surprise when I started drawing them that I really never would have noticed before. Quick little side note here, I didn't want to waste any space in my sketchbook, so I tend to cram as much as I can on one page as possible. Here on the bottom of this page, you can see the thumbnail that I made in my last video. So if you're interested, you can go check that out to figure out what that is and a little bit of how it came to be. Now, I didn't really film the process of thumbnail sketching for this illustration. Honestly, mostly because I was tired of standing and filming me drawing, so I kind of wanted to unwind and sketch without any pressure, if that makes sense. But I'll add a little clip here, or I'll pop in a photo of the page of my sketchbook that I did do the brainstorming of thumbnails for this drawing. Just to show you that I do spend a little bit of time, arguably not enough time, but I do spend a little bit of time at least trying to figure out the composition before I dive into my illustration. It was a little bit challenging to get a good photo of the sketchbook page because on the other side of the page I did a lot of heavy watercolor and ink and all kinds of work like that. It is a mixed media sketchbook, but it did warble a little bit, so that's why it's a little bit hard to see in all the wrinkles and warping that's going on. But I tried my best. I really don't see flamingos in person really at all in my life, or at least very often. As a matter of fact, I think the last time I saw a flamingo in person, I was probably like a toddler or something. I feel like if I saw them more recently, I clearly wasn't paying attention because if it was in a zoo or something, I tend to want to go to the polar bears or the bears in general or some of the marine life there. So I kind of gloss over flamingos, I guess, which is another reason why I like studying all kinds of animals so much because I really don't get to see them in person really at all. So it's my artistic way of learning about them. I don't think I could do a flamingo fact video if I didn't talk about how brightly colored they are. Some of you may know that flamingos' plumage actually grows gray, and they become the pink color that we all know and love by a chemical called carotenoid. So if they do stop eating this carotenoid, they do fade in color over time. For some more information and for a quick list of other animals that color in the same way, check out the links I have in the description for more information. One of my favorite animal hybrids that I've created is an oxolingo, or a flamingo that I crossed because I was very inspired by the pink colors that they turn with their carotenoid-rich diet. That sketch is somewhere on my Instagram, so again, feel free to go check that out if you're interested. In this video, I tried to record it a little bit differently, and I actually recorded the footage with my time-lapse setting on my phone camera, and although it sped up the process for transferring it to my computer so tremendously, which I thought it would, which is why I did it this way, I feel like it made me have to rush the intro really fast, because I really didn't have control over the pace of speeding the video. So normally I would do the intro and speed up the video accordingly. And because of that, when I'm talking, it doesn't really align up with the sketching or the art process really at all. So I feel like I'm just gonna keep rambling and I'm gonna be talking about stuff and it's not even gonna be on the screen. So just bear with me, I'll try and do better next time. So you might have noticed by now that I decided to do something a little bit different than my previous videos here on YouTube. And I decided to paint traditionally for my final artwork. And once I started actually doing these again, I realized that I really missed it. It's something about doing traditional work and physically reacting to the waters and the paints that you're creating on the page. You really just can't match that in a Photoshop illustration, or really any digital medium at all. I know there's ways to mimic it and things like that, but the way that traditional media works really is a whole different process that I really missed. And I think ever since being in art school, I was never physically pushed or even mentally pushed to do digital illustrations, but I think I put upon myself that if I want to be a professional illustrator, digital work is so important, everything has to be digital, but that really just isn't the case. You can be a successful artist without doing everything digitally. And I think the style that I've been trying to emulate while I do digital art is very non-painterly in a way. I do a lot of shape-based drawings and shading in that way. So I kind of got bored of it after a while, and after watching all these videos of these traditional artists here on YouTube and all the Instagram artists that I follow, it really helped me fall back in love with traditional artwork. I want to take this time to give a nice shout out to a couple of artists here on YouTube who have really inspired me to start creating traditionally again. There are many artists I love watching here on YouTube that inspire me, but recently I've been binging the heck out of Chris Hong Art and Emily Artful. I've been following Chris Hong for a while now on Instagram, and I recently discovered she has a YouTube channel, so I've been finding a lot of comfort in watching and listening to her videos. I think it's pretty cool seeing the posts that I love so much on her Instagram come to life while she talks about them in a video. I think it's very cool. Not only is her work stunning, and I want to collect them all someday, honestly, hearing her talk about how she's gotten so successful while still being down to earth and talking about how she wants to improve, it really is so refreshing to kind of show me that I really can do it. Even before watching her make her process videos on YouTube, I would see her post her thumbnail sketches and value comps and color comps on Instagram, and she really does have a great solid game plan before she jumps into her work, and that's something I really want to strive for in the future. It's just such a smart thing to do, and it really does minimize the stress working with wet medium, especially with watercolor and any kind of medium that you kind of have to work with while you go. Overall, she just has such a sweet personality, and I really encourage everyone to go check out her channel. Emily Artful is the other talented artist here on YouTube, and I love the way that her art really has that dark macabre vibe to it that really strikes you when you look at it, and I'm all for it. On top of her talent and the way that she crafts her works, she has such an entertaining personality, and I could listen to her talk about literally anything, even sponsors. I usually skip these parts when I watch from other YouTube videos where they have a little section of their video where they talk about their sponsor or a product that they're promoting or whatever. I really do tend to skip these parts. With her videos, I never really know what kind of ad-libs she's gonna add to it and what kind of funny little moments she's gonna add to it as well, and all the little inserts and pops and images she puts into it. And she really does change it up, so I just don't want to skip it. I also just love listening to her because she's just so inspiring in general. All the messages that she has in all of her story times, and just how real and raw she is about everything she talks about. I really appreciate that, and I value it a lot. So that's another reason I love watching her videos. So if you're not familiar with her channel or haven't watched any of her videos, please go check her out. All the links will be in the description. So as you watch this time-lapse process of me creating this BATINGO, I want you to know that I'm doing this illustration in traditional medium for the first time in my videos so far, as a way for me to exercise my craft again in traditional medium because I haven't done it in so long. And it hurts me. I've missed doing painting, I've missed doing watercolor and colored pencil, and I think the only traditional medium that I've been doing so much is just sketching before I turn it digital. And I think that's what inspired me to make this channel in the first place, because I needed some kind of outlet to do traditional artwork because I'm always doing digital all the time. By making YouTube videos and putting it upon myself to do traditional work on it, I'm hoping that'll give me my traditional art fix, I guess, and make it easier for me to do the digital work I need to do for school and other things. I've linked all the materials I use throughout this video into the description box below, so feel free to check that out if you're curious on what I'm using or what brands of whatever I'm using is. So make sure you check that out. Also, the wonderful artists that I've been talking about in this video in particular, Chris Hong and Emily Artful, and they're also on the list of my favorite art channels on my channel as well. So please go check them out. They are amazing and amazingly talented, and their personalities are just so lovable, and I enjoy watching their content so much, and I hope you will too, so go check them out, please. I really am passionate about lifting other artists up and really supporting them in any way that I can. I know these artists have a huge following, and I'm such a tiny little artist here on YouTube and Instagram, but I always love doing shoutouts anyway just because it makes me feel so good, and I really truly think these artists deserve all the love that they can get. They've really inspired me, and I can't thank them enough for helping me realize that I miss traditional artwork so much. So like I said, please everybody go check them out. Also check out my other featured art channels on my channel, because they're all so amazing and I'm really inspired by them. And if you like my type of content, you will most definitely love theirs. Ooh, I'm getting all shaky talking about them, because what if they see it? Like, I mean, it's on the internet, so they might. But I'm really not looking for any shoutouts from them or anything. I just really believe in supporting artists and kind of artist supporting artists type hashtag deal here. I really do find it rewarding to really share the art community in a way that lifts us up instead of tearing us down, because I know it's so hard to see some of these comments sometimes focus on our artwork and the flaws in it and what we could do better and everything like that. And don't get me wrong, I love criticism when it's constructive, but I just think there's so much hate in this world that the more love we can put into it, the better. I just can't stress how powerful artwork is to me and how passionate I am about it. And I really think that other artists contribute to it, obviously, because not only are they in the art community, but they really contribute to a big part of the world in general. Whether it's creating art that makes you smile or makes you laugh or makes you in awe or your jaw drop or scared or anything like that, art is just a powerful thing in a way that everyone does have their own perspective on everything that they see and really does take something different from every piece of art. And really, I think that's the beauty of art in general. For me, my artwork serves as a way to share my passion for animals as well, in sometimes a silly, humorous way, but also ways that make you want to learn more about the animals too. I think that even if artists don't have a super clear concept on why they're drawing what they're drawing and they just love what they do, it's just so powerful because every single person that looks at that piece of work will take something different from it. And I really think that's the beauty of art. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope even if you knew some of these facts about flamingos and bats, I really do hope that you were inspired by this illustration and maybe create some of your own animal hybrids too. If you want to see more fun animal hybrids, I have a lot of drawings of hybrids I've come up with on my Instagram, Sketching with Sarah, so feel free to check those out if you're interested. Also, please tag me if you do decide to do any animal hybrid sketching or animal hybrid drawing of any kind. Please tag me. I love seeing animal hybrids and what people come up with. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I really hope that you guys learn a little something. If you knew these facts already, totally understandable. I mostly knew them as well, but I found it really interesting and inspiring, so I thought I'd make an illustration about it and share it with you guys. If you're new to this channel and you like this content, please make sure to subscribe, like, and comment what you like about it. I love taking suggestions of other animals that you're really into that can help me make a new video in the future that you're interested in. And actually comment what you're interested in about these videos. Would you like more animal facts? Would you like me to just stop talking and just show you the art process with some music? Let me know what types of videos you like to watch in the art community. Anyway, thanks again so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.